Welcome to Port Barre Coaches Show. My name is Rusty Amo, and I'm here with head coach of the baseball team, Tyler Stevens. This is a new show that we're going to bring bi-weekly to you to let you know everything about Port Barre sports and what's happening. So first off, we're going to talk about the improvements in the baseball field recently that Coach Stevens and his crew has taken care of. So he's going to tell us a little bit about what's going on with the baseball field and the changes that are being made around the campus.
The first thing we did this year was we covered our cages. Thankfully, the Alumni Association helped us out with that. We actually just ordered a brand new set of nets. So we'll have the exterior netted, and then we'll have sectioned off to where we can make it into 4 or 5 cages or just have one big long one. So it's able to make it to where we can also access it for our pitchers, catchers, hitters, every part of the team. We'll be able to do live batting practice in there whenever it's raining. So we'll be able to throw bullpens if it's raining. So it's going to make it to where it's multi-purpose instead of just hitting cages, which is going to help us out a lot. Recently, we just added a weight room this past season into the other side of this wall over here. We got some equipment donated, and also we're trying to add on to it to make it more accessible for our players. We're still going to access and use the weight room at school for our heavy lifting days and stuff like that, but this is kind of like an auxiliary weight room for our guys. So say it's like we play a Tuesday game and he wants to get a lift in, or we decide that we're not going to lift that day, but he still wants to lift or get some weight up. He's able to go on the other side of the room right here and get some weight in. We also, thankfully, the electronics building at school, they had some lockers laying around that nobody was using, so we were able to use those. So now we have basically a mud room on the other side of the wall too, so they'll go through this back door, go in there, drop their cleats off, batting gloves, bats, that stuff that gets real cluttered and dirty. They can drop it off in their lockers right there. They all have a nameplate on them, all have a little individual locker, drop them off in there, and then they come into our locker room. So now this space will mostly be for jerseys, basically hats, gloves, just the stuff, and it'll help us keep it clean in here because we have a beautiful locker room. The other improvement that we've been doing is we actually resurfaced our infield over the summer. We had a company come out and they leveled all our lips on the infield. If you don't know what a lip is, it's where the grass meets the dirt. We had a pretty good hump on the front side and back side. Mm-hmm. So now the ball moves smoother and it actually drains a lot better on our field. It kind of takes you back first few times that it rained really hard, and we're used to coming out and we have a lake basically where the dirt is, and we come out and we're practicing that day. So that was a big improvement for our field. And we're always looking to improve more things as we go. That's the 2 big projects we've done. And I can't thank the Alumni Association enough because they help us out so much with everything that we do around the park. They make my crazy dreams come to reality, and they're a big help for us.
It really looks professional. You don't see many high schools that have what these kids have, and it gives them something to be proud of, and it excites them when the younger kids see this. Yeah. Back when we were growing up, your baseball field was a baseball field. You didn't have a workout facility. You didn't have, the kids are lucky these days, and I'm glad that you provided that for them.
Yeah.
It's a big step in the program.
And we preach every single day. Me, Coach Guidry, and Coach Jardy. We've all grew up in this program. We all played here. So we preach every single day. Take pride in what you have. Most schools don't have this. Yep. And you have a community that wants to make it to where you have the best facilities. If we don't have them, we're competing to get there. Yep. And whenever I played, we had 2 jerseys. We got dressed in the dugout. Now they have a locker room, and obviously you can see behind us we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different jerseys. Yep. I think we have 25 different combinations because we have 2 pairs of hats, 2 pairs of socks, and 3 pairs of pants. It's we want to make it to where I tell our parents in the first meeting, we want to make it a college experience the best way we can with baseball, because most of these kids won't play college baseball. Yep. So we're trying to give them the best experience possible while they're in high school. So hopefully we're doing that. I think we are, and we want to continue to improve, not only to make it look nice, give these kids a good experience, but all these things that we're adding in are helping them on the baseball side as well.
Right.
So
It also gives them a place where they can come. Yeah, I mean, a kid can come here and
we want to make it to where it's a place they want to hang out.
They feel like they can.
Yeah.
This is a place that they can come.
So like we moved the couches around,
Yeah.
so people can't see them right now. But we'll do a tour later. I know we were talking about that. But we have 3 couches that we line up in here so the guys can hang out. We have a TV on the other side of the room. It's during like our Jamboree, they hang out in here during between games, so they'll have PlayStation and stuff like that up there. But it's used for like practice schedules and things like that, and the coaches use it as a tool. And then we want to make it to where they never want to leave. They want to stay here as long as possible, and they take advantage of it. We're getting lights in our cages soon, but I've had to kick the guys out of the cages every single night. Like I'm dragging the field and it's getting dark, and I'm saying you can't see the baseball anymore. You got to go home. So it's awesome. It's a great thing to have, and I'm glad we have a community like we do that we can continue to build this thing and keep moving forward.
So you're going to be having the Jamboree. You're hosting it again this year over here. So tell us a little bit about that. What's going to happen? The teams you're going to have, and the schedule that's going to be involved with that.
We have our normal Jamboree. Last year we had Ascension Christian that came over, but mostly it's been a public school. It's been St. Landry Public School Jamboree, and it's back to being that way again. We have OHS, us, Beauchamp, Ville Platte, who's the outlier, and Northwest are going to be playing. Games will start at 10 o'clock in the morning over here on the Saturday. That's going to be February 18th. I'm sorry. February 18th will be the varsity Jamboree. We'll start at 10. The last game's at 3. We play the first and last game. We play at 10 and we play at 3. We're going to play Ville Platte and Beauchamp. It'll be a good day. We always have a good time. We love hosting it. Obviously, we love playing on our field more than any place in the state. So it's a great day. We love having all the public schools in our parish around here to come, and we can all meet up and kind of see what each team has. You get to see all your friends and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's one thing I was going to say. It's always been a thing where all these kids grew up playing travel ball together, and it's like it's one weekend where they're all playing for different teams, but they're all back together.
Yeah,
parents know each other. It's always a good weekend.
And
it's always a good weekend.
Our parents cook and barbecue and do all that stuff, so you see smoke going behind the concession stand. We always have a lot of people that show up, and it's a good event. And then also the Sunday, that same weekend on the 19th, we will host a JV Jamboree over here as well. It'll be 3 teams instead of so we have us, Northwest, and Beauchamp. We'll play 3 games. That'll start at 10 again, and the last game will be about 12:30. It's our time limit, so it usually moves pretty quickly. We try to stay on task as much as possible. Praying that the weather is okay, because this time of the year it's a weird time. Like today it was a beautiful day. Tomorrow it's gonna be storming.
100% chance.
Yeah, and it'll probably be cold. So usually we break out the hot chocolate and have heaters in the dugouts for each team. But it's a great event. We've been putting it on for probably 25-30 years. It's been a long time. So it's been a great event. I love hosting it, and I hope we want to build it to where we have more teams. But with no lights, it's kind of hard to go past what we have. But we want to make sure we stay with the public schools in our parish before anybody else. Yeah.
So season's gonna come up. What have y'all been doing to prepare for the season? What is your outlook on the season? What are you expecting?
We've been getting geared up, practicing for a good little while now. Having some of the best practices we've had since I've been here. I'm talking about like focus, and also the actual playing on the field has been very surprising. We've had some spots that we need to feel that we feel pretty comfortable about at this point. Now it might change. We have scrimmages coming up, and we also have the Jamboree, and then we'll have more of a feel of who needs to be in certain spots. We're replacing our whole outfield. We had all seniors in the outfield last year. Now we had a few guys that played during the summer in the outfield, which helps us. Owen Poncho, I'm messing up his name already. He played third base for us a lot last year and pitched. This summer for Legion Ball, he played center field the whole summer, so he's moving to center field. Landon Valan's moving to the outfield. Julian Arman's moving from catcher to the outfield. Taylor Bourgeois will be back in the outfield again. He'll be competing for a spot. And Braden Perdue, who played a good little bit last year for us as a freshman, he played in some spots where we had some of our all our outfields were pitchers, so Braden had to step into that role and kind of spot play in the outfield. So he has a little bit of experience. So we we're about 5 or 6 deep in the outfield with guys that are all pretty close to each other, which is a good thing. It's just going to be who can produce at the plate. That's what's going to dictate those guys getting that spot. So we'll see that over the next couple weeks in scrimmages. We've been inter-squadding at practice, which is helping us when the weather is cooperating with us. Also, we have our whole infield back. We're replacing our first baseman, Ashton Brown, who was one of the better fielding first basemen that I coached while I've been here. And Trent Kimball's sliding into that role right now. He's doing a great job. Cy Saunier is going to be our second baseman. He has experience. He's played there on the high school, on the varsity level last year and the year before. Eli Vircher is going to be our shortstop. He's going to be a 4-year starter. He's Mr. Reliable. Yeah, exactly. You know what you're going to get out of him. He's our leadoff guy. He sets the tone. He understands the game. He's very vocal. We have two, which most schools don't have this. We do. Our middle infielders are not everyday pitchers. Yeah. Most of the time on good high school teams, your shortstop might be your best pitcher. We don't. Virtue and Cy will both pitch, but it won't be in big game roles. Yeah. They know that they're going to be end of the week guys, lower competition type pitchers. Mason Daigle moved to third base this year. I felt that over the summer, I told him I felt like that would be a good position for him, and it would be better for our team as a whole if he moved to third base. He took it and ran with it. He has been playing some very good baseball at third so far in practice. It's actually exciting to see. Grayson Davis will also be a third baseman too. He'll be a DH sub in at third, and also one of our better pitchers with him and Owen. Mason as well will be a pitcher too. And then we have Bennett Fondo, who's going to be his third year behind the plate. He's going to be a junior this year. He's also, like I said, Mr. Reliable. You just know what you're going to get. You're going to get everything out of him. But, I mean, we're very excited for the year coming in. Like I said, it's tough to say how good you're going to be in January. I mean, you need to go through scrimmages and kind of tell where you're at, play other people, and, have that little bit of nervousness that you have going into a game. But I like where we're at right now. I think we'll have a very successful team, but we'll see once we start playing some baseball games.
Inter-squad games are great, but when you get to put into other competition against other teams, and you got a couple scrimmages lined up to... Yeah.
We're going to go to St. Ed's next weekend. We'll play at 1 o'clock at St. Ed's. That's always a good test for us because they're a great program. Coach Manuel does a great job over there. He's always done. Then the following weekend, we'll go to OC. We'll go right down the road. We stay pretty close to scrimmages. There's no reason to travel far because we have so much competition in this area. It's unreal. We'll go to OC the following weekend. We'll start at 11. We'll scrimmage over there. That's going to be a big test. OC has an amazing team, a lot of talent on that team. But our, Port Barre and OC guys get geared up. Even if it's a scrimmage, they get excited to go.
Right.
If I've had 4 or 5 of them, Coach, can I pitch? Can I please pitch against OC? Can I please? And I'm like, if it's your time, it's your time. I mean, it's the way it works. But they're all geared up to do that. Then before you know it, the Jamboree will be here, and we'll be hosting Bro Bridge on that Monday, the 20th, over here. And
that's gonna be a first home game,
first regular season game and home game will be against Bro Bridge. Then that weekend, we will go to Jennings for a tournament Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. We're gonna be playing some pretty good stiff competition while we're going there. We have Crowley, South Beauregard, which is a baseball powerhouse, the Friday, and then the Saturday afternoon we'll play against the host team, Jennings. Okay. So, and then the following week, it doesn't get any easier. We have 5A St. Aug coming into town, so they're gonna make the trip down to Port Barre, and we're excited though. We have a good close-knit team. We were just taking pictures a little while ago, and I told you this. I think this was the smoothest it ever went for picture day for us. The kids listen. They're really buying into what I'm preaching, what Coach Gidry's preaching on the mound, what Coach Jordy's telling the outfielders. Practices have been pretty smooth. At this time of the year, we've been kind of preaching it to the guys about staying focused throughout practice. It happens. I mean, it's nothing we're frustrated about. You're going through the grind. This is the grind time of the year where you're not playing anybody. You're constantly just practicing every single day. And you see the focus step up a lot more whenever you go into after that first scrimmage and they kind of see what they're deficiencies are, what they need to work on, and also it's just like, okay, now the season's here. Like we can, it's that little bump that you get whenever you start playing.
Well, you got 4 seniors that have been around the program forever. I mean, I feel like they've been here for. I mean, all 4 of them, they've been here. I mean, so you have built-in leaders.
Mm-hmm.
What do you see that leadership role developing in them, and they stepping up and.
All of them are pretty vocal.
Yeah.
Owen's kind of like certain times will get vocal, but he's kind of like just kind of
He leads by example.
Set an example. Sai is very vocal. Sai is he's like a little firecracker. I mean, Sai is that guy that gets the dugout going, gets the team going. You'll hear him at every single practice, either talking in the field, getting on somebody's butt for doing something they're supposed to do, or something like that. Virtue's kind of the same way as Owen, lead by example. He'll tell people stuff and get it out there, and Taylor's kind of the quiet one. I mean, that's just the way.
But Taylor's the one that'll pick you up when you need to be picked up.
Yeah.
If you need a laugh, that is your guy.
Exactly.
He's gonna bring you.
Exactly.
He's gonna bring you back.
Taylor's a goofball. I'll say that. He's funny. But they all been here for 4 years, and it makes it feel like they've been here forever because they all seen the field.
Yeah.
Throughout the 4 years.
Yeah.
Their freshman year, unfortunately, was a COVID year. So they played. Owen was starting one of our. I think he was our 3 or 4 pitcher in the slot. Virtue was starting to. He sketched his way up there, but then his sophomore year he started at shortstop, and Sai started getting a role as a sophomore, and then he really started playing a lot more last year for us, and he was the big spark that helped us upset Breaux Bridge last year in the first game. He walked, I think, 3 times, and as he's running down the line, he's screaming at the dugout, "Let's go!" and just getting everybody up, and just little small things like that go a long way.
Yeah.
But I love these seniors to death. They put a lot of work in, and it's you never have to really worry about him too much.
No.
Owen sometimes I have to tell him he's a knucklehead, and just but he's Owen.
Yeah.
You know how he is, and he's a good kid. I love Owen to death, and I also love Virtue and Sai and Taylor. They all give you they're gonna give you everything they have, and they're gonna try their best. You don't have to ever worry about any of that.
That's good.
Like doing that, I've never liked having a schedule like that, to be honest, because you don't want that fool's goal, and then at the end of the year, you're 20 and whatever, and you really might not be a good team.
Yeah.
You don't know yet. So I'm excited. Boys are excited. We have guys hitting the cage right now as we speak. So I'm probably gonna have to run them out of here before we leave. But I love the team we have. I'm very excited about it. Can't wait for the season to start because I've been preaching to the seniors. They were joking with me the other day. They said, "Man, Coach, you said before you know it, it'll be here." And like we were talking about that the first time we all met after football season. I'm like, you're gonna snap your fingers and you're gonna be in district play.
Yeah.
And sure enough, they came up and they're like, "Man, Coach, we have a scrimmage next weekend." I'm like, "Yeah." And I said, "Once that scrimmage comes, man," I said,
It's gonna roll.
It's gonna roll because you're so into it, practicing games, 3 or 4 games a week. You don't think about where you're at in the season until we usually have a playoff party every year. We all kind of sit around and we'll order food for the guys, hang out in the locker room, do a little practice, but then we see the results for the playoff brackets together. I like doing that. It's a fun thing for the guys to do, and before you know it, the playoff party in the locker room is going to be here. And but I think we'll have a successful season. We've been averaging around 12 to 15 wins a year since I've been here, but the boys have set a goal to where they want to win more than 15 games, which is a good thing. You want to have lofty goals, but also achievable goals at the same time. The biggest one is district championship. We haven't done it since 2015. It's up there on the wall. And playoff and host a playoff game. These guys have gotten a taste 2 years ago of what a playoff game at home feels like, and winning a playoff game at home, so they want that again. And this year it's a best 2 out of 3 for the first, second, and third round. So you're guaranteed 2 more home games if you host the first round, which is a great thing to have. And it'll be Fort Barry, whenever you host a playoff game, they show out. They showed us 2 years ago. We had people wrapped around the field. Softball team hosted semifinal games, and I'm sorry, quarterfinal game over here. They were barbecuing in the outfield. The Alumni Association again showed up for
Great
it.
atmosphere.
Yeah, and we have a great atmosphere at this park, and I hope that we can bring that back this year again.
So you talked about district play starting.
Yeah.
What does your district look like, and what is your outlook on your chances at getting that district?
We have Mamu, Ville Platte, Pine Prairie, Iota, Church Point is going to be in our district. I'm hoping I'm not missing anybody. It's a very competitive district. Iota's been a powerhouse, a very good team. We went toe-to-toe with them last year, lost in the bottom of the 7th, unfortunately on a walk-off. Pine Prairie is always a scrappy team, very good team, very well coached, tough place to play. We go play at Pine Prairie this year. If you play there at night, you've done it before. It's a tough venue to play at. It's a very different configured park. Dugouts are very close to home plate. Have big old fences in the outfield. It's just a different place to play. Thankfully, we have Iota at home. You know, that helped us a lot. We play Church Point at home. We go to Mamu, to Ville Platte. Top to bottom, our district is very tough. You can't just show up. Can't just show up to the field and I'm gonna win.
Right.
You have to play. You know, put your foot forward and play the game the right way, and make sure that we execute everything we're doing. So like we've been doing a lot of hit and run at practice, a lot of bunts. Coach Brandon's been doing a lot of spotting fastballs in the bullpen because our biggest downfall last year was I think we could have won 4 or 5 more games than we did. It's because we couldn't throw strikes at the end of the game and we let it go. We had rain, Catholic and New Iberia. That's just 2 games at Plaquemine. That's a few games that like you have in the back of your mind. Like if we would have just thrown strikes, we would have been in that game to the end and had a chance to win it. And that was the difference between us hosting a playoff game and driving all the way to Pine on the Mississippi-Louisiana border. So I think we'll be okay. I mean, but it's just kind of hit the ground running, and you know we've stressed to them the first 2 weeks dictate a lot of your season because we stumbled a little bit in the first 2 weeks in the past 2 years, and it came back to bite us at the end of the year. Do you want to be playing your best ball at the beginning of the year? No, you don't have to be. But it's good to make sure you win the winnable games.
Yeah.
And then in district play, the same thing. Win the game in front of you. Don't worry about that district championship, or if you're playing for it until you're done with district, then you can talk about district championship. Or if you're playing a team that you know you both played the amount of games, this is the district championship, yes, worry about it then, but don't worry about it till it happens. That's the biggest thing.
So usually in the season you have, typically you do like a military appreciation game, stuff like that. You got any of that lined up for us this season?
Yeah, we do. That's our jersey back here. Last year was a thing. It was a project I've been kind of doing some with. I was thinking we wanted to do a different jersey, not just red, black, white. And BSN Jared is my guy. I asked him about it. He's like, dude, let's see what we can do. We can make something happen. So we came up with this. We wanted to honor every military base branch. We didn't want to do just one. So we have a patch on our sleeve that has every military branch on it. We also have the American flag, PB with American flag on the back. And it will be the rain game this year on a Saturday. It worked out. Last year we had it during the week. It was a great event. We had, I want to say, 10 military, ex-military veterans that were able to throw out the first pitch, and we were able to honor them. This year we're hoping to get more. Obviously it being on a Saturday, so we're going to put it out there on our Facebook page, and also we'll get our school Facebook page to put it out there too. Anybody that wants to honor a veteran is welcome to. They'll throw out the first pitch. We're going to be cooking that Saturday. And it's a great event. It's something that I've always took pride in trying to do something like that. We've done police appreciation days, military. So we're just trying to find a way for our kids to honor them and also appreciate that without them we wouldn't be able to play baseball and do things that we're doing around here. So that was just a small way. It was a cool way for the guys. They like having different uniforms
and it makes the game feel special. You know, it makes it better. You know, it's just.
And to be honest, we wear it not just on Military Appreciation Day. We wore it 5 or 6 times last year because the guys love the jersey. They love the different look too. But it also helps us honor, and we've got so many compliments from other coaches saying that's awesome. We've never even thought about that. I got the idea from Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt has their jerseys. They've always done some kind of military appreciation thing, and so it looks good. It's a great way to honor our military, and we have a lot of military guys. We actually have one on our staff, Coach Guidry, who served in the military, and we have Coach Longclose, Coach Jacques, the softball coach.
Right.
So it's a way to honor them too. It's a great thing to do.
It's a good deal. All right, well, that's all we got for the show today. We'll see y'all back in 2 weeks. Hopefully we'll have some results and scores and some good news for y'all.
Hopefully it's on the good end.
Yep.
That's the thing about that.
Thank y'all for watching.